Welcome to the question and answer segment. We gathered up some questions from sex addicts and partners, and these are questions that are often asked at the classes that we've taught by people who are relatively early in treatment and early in information seeking. We hope you find these helpful.
So the first question we have is sobriety from sex addiction the same as celibacy?
Oh, no, it is not. If you think about sex addiction more like an eating disorder, on one side you've got compulsive overeating, but the answer to compulsive overeating is not anorexia nervosa or starving yourself. The same thing with sex addiction. If you're compulsive acting out with sexual behavior, the answer to that is not to go into a sexually anorexic place or compulsively push all things sexual away. Like an eating disorder where they're trying to create a healthy relationship with their own appetite and food, sobriety from sex addiction is really creating a healthy relationship with your own sexuality and sexual behavior.
The next question we have, isn't it better to not tell my partner about what I've done? After all, I've already hurt her. I'll take this one. So no, it is not better to lie to your partner. It is always better to tell the truth. What we know about sex addiction is the sexual betrayals are very devastating and destructive, and the lying is worse. So the better to tell the truth and go through the painful process now than to have a little trust built or be farther down the road and to learn that there's more lies that were sitting there. So telling the truth in the healthy therapeutic way as soon as possible is your best option. Another question we have, if I only look at porn, it wasn't cheating, right?
Oh, wrong. That doesn't mean that it is always cheating if you're looking at porn, but one of our colleagues, Rob Weiss, has a definition of infidelity that I particularly like. And he talks about infidelity as keeping significant sexual secrets from your partner. So, if you're looking at porn and you're lying to your partner about it, you're not letting her know you're doing it, or you're framing it in a way that isn't really accurate with either what you're looking at or how much you're looking at it, you're keeping significant secrets about your sexual behavior from your partner. And in that case, it would be infidelity, which would be cheating.
Let me hop onto this one a little
Sure.
bit. For pornography, a lot of people ask, if I'm watching porn, does that mean I'm a porn addict?
Oh, yeah.
And no, if you're watching porn, that does not necessarily mean that you're a sex addict, porn addict. But this is when we say we have to take the criteria of addiction, which is included in a different segment, and apply it to the substance of pornography or any other sexual behavior to see if an addiction is present. So people who watch porn does not necessarily mean you're a sex addict, and you need to go through a full assessment to determine that. So our next question, I've been sober for 3 months. Why doesn't she trust me yet?
Oh.
We get this question a lot. And when we explain it to folks, it then makes sense to them. So if someone's been acting out sexually for months or years or many, many years, 3 months sobriety is not going to undo that amount of trust. So it really takes trustworthy behavior over time, good recovery over time, and that's where the trust starts to be rebuilt. So no, if you're sober for 3 months, she is not going to trust you yet, but continue to work hard, and it's a great possibility.
Oh, let me hop in here real quick.
That's it.
What we'll often talk about in the addict program is that when you get that 3-month chip, the group is going to cheerlead you and say, good job. Your 12-step meeting is going to say, that's wonderful, we're so proud of you. Your therapist is going to say, that is great. But when you take that chip to your wife, she will probably experience it as, great, it's been 3 months since you sexually betrayed me. So it takes time to build that trust.
How long does this work take?
This work takes a while. When you're working on sex addiction, we're learning about your addiction, we're learning about your cycle and your patterns. We have to help you get sober and learn the tools that help you to stay sober. We have to eventually do the deeper trauma work that's driving your addiction and help you move out of just being a dry drunk into somebody who's actually got recovery and is able to find moderation in all things. That is not an overnight process. So This work is going to take a while.
The next question, when do I get the truth? Well, we want you to have the truth as soon as possible. That's the question. Here are some factors that go into figuring that out. Where is the addict in his recovery? What's going on in the family? What does the partner need? How is the partner doing? And those are factors that create when to do a therapeutic disclosure. Now, therapeutic disclosure was a segment we already addressed. So please, if you haven't seen that part, please go back to and really view that section. There's a lot of good information. But the short answer is as soon as possible. In the beginning, when addiction or sexual betrayal comes to light, it's not uncommon for addicts to have a hard time telling the full truth. They're full of shame, full of guilt. And so what you think might be the full telling in the very beginning stages may not be the full telling. And I always want partners to know that ahead of time. And there is a way to get that full information. So as soon as possible, we totally advocate you getting the truth. So our last question that comes up often in our classes, I'm going to read this one. I can't sleep, I can't eat, and I can't stop thinking about his betrayal. Am I going crazy?
Oh.
No, you're not going crazy. This is a trauma reaction. Big life event has come into your world and, surprised you, shocked you, shattered you. And so it's a very appropriate body response to lose your appetite, have difficulty sleeping, and have emotions that kind of go in a roller coaster. You are not going crazy, but please seek help with a qualified clinician.
We hope that you found these answers helpful. If you have other questions that we have not addressed at some point in this series, feel free to reach out to us. We would be happy to provide that information to you. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.